Hello and welcome to the Trading with Ashley show. I had promised all of you that I would give you an update on our $25,000 MSTR MicroStrategy Challenge. One thing I have discovered is that MicroStrategy, ticker symbol MSTR, has the best and most lucrative options available to someone that sells options. And so what I decided to do is open up a challenge to my Discord community and any of you that wanted to join us in the Discord community to see how much money we could make with $25,000 in capital selling options on MSTR. Well, we are in week 2 of the challenge, and I am happy to report we have already made close to $2,000 off of that initial $24,000 investment. So we're at about an 8% return right now, and we're halfway through. And I have new members joining all the time that want to be a part of the challenge. And what I do is I put out a new play for them to start to get into the challenge. And some of them are doing even better than we're doing because they just joined at the perfect time. So if you want to get into this challenge, you need to sign up for my email newsletter. I will be sending out a special link on Monday that will allow all of you to join the Discord community and get into this particular challenge. So if you're interested in that, make sure you sign up for my email newsletter below. But let me give you some things on the horizon in regards to MicroStrategy so that you can make a decision for yourself. Like I said, I have made so much money on this ticker symbol, and a lot of our members have made money on this particular ticker symbol, and they didn't know about it before joining the community and learning exactly how you select entries and exits for this particular play. But once they've learned it, they've been making a killing. We have 2 of our members that recently have achieved a goal they had, and that was replacing their salary from work with trading proceeds so that they can too enjoy not having to work for corporate America. So congratulations to them. I have another member that just this week alone, now she's working with a larger portfolio, but she has made $82,000 this week. The markets have been on fire, and a big part of having a great market is knowing exactly how to exploit it to your benefit so that you can make the most possible money from the market. And that's what I specialize in. I look at various trade setups, and the one that I have been enjoying right now is MicroStrategy. In fact, if you look at some of my positions, I'm happy to say that of my closed positions in the last few months, I have profited over $114,000 in my closed positions with MicroStrategy. And I have several positions that are open. Some of these positions right now that you're looking at, when we get to the December 20th date, that will be another $69,000 in premium if all of my contracts expire worthless. And so some wonderful things on the horizon. But let me explain to you why I think that MicroStrategy is just getting started. There is a very big catalyst on the horizon, and that is inclusion in the NASDAQ 100. Most of you trade the QQQ in some capacity, and that is modeled after the NASDAQ. Well, MicroStrategy now is number 71 on the list of the top 75 companies that you have to have a certain market cap, and it's usually anywhere between $38 and $45 billion to get included into the NASDAQ. So there's some key dates I want you to keep in mind if you want to start trading this particular ticker symbol. The first one is November the 29th. On November the 29th, the NASDAQ will lock in the current market cap of the companies that are being considered. So we want to watch the price and see where they're falling in that lineup. Now, getting in the top 75 isn't an automatic inclusion. There are companies that have been a part of the NASDAQ that fell below the threshold, but they are given a 1-year grace period. So we have to see how that plays out to see if there is room for MicroStrategy. If they are included in the NASDAQ 100, we will know that by mid-December. We'll get news of that, and then the actual inclusion would take place on December 20th. Well, the reason that that's so exciting is once they are included in the NASDAQ, then companies that try to mimic the NASDAQ will go and purchase the shares. So just with that dynamic alone, we are looking at 550 to 600 million in inflows coming into MicroStrategy. Well, there's no way to have that kind of buying pressure on MicroStrategy without it going up. But the best part and the largest catalyst is Bitcoin itself. MicroStrategy's entire business model is built on having Bitcoin on its balance sheet. And when they report in Q1, looking back over Q4, they are able to use the price of Bitcoin that's on their balance sheet to show their gains. And this is exciting because they continue to use all of the money that they bring in to purchase more Bitcoin. They have committed to a $42 billion purchase of additional Bitcoin, which will only raise their price even more over the next 3 years. So MicroStrategy alone may be responsible for us not having near the deep winter in Bitcoin that we typically have in their 4-year halving cycle. So with all these bullish things ahead, I am definitely holding on to my MicroStrategy, but I am also enjoying the lucrative premiums that come with selling puts. And the main thing about selling puts on a stock, you have to actually want the stock and you have to believe in the stock's future. Well, if I am put the shares of MicroStrategy, I have no problem at all being put the shares because I am of the belief that this stock will be well above $1,000 a year from now. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I have no guarantees, but I'm sharing with you my own belief system. And so if you study the company and you feel the same, this might be the one ticker symbol that can really catapult your portfolio this next year. Now, a lot of the price of MicroStrategy is dependent on Bitcoin's pricing. It really is acting as a leveraged ETF against Bitcoin. And so if you look here on this one example on Google Finance, you can see the price of MicroStrategy and how it moves in comparison to Bitcoin. And if you want to have a little fun, let's add in the leveraged ETF MSTX and look how this particular symbol adjusts according to the price of both Bitcoin and then MicroStrategy. Now, you have to be careful with the leveraged ETFs because they can fall just as hard. So you really want to watch the levels of support when you are deciding to purchase something like MSTX. All right, let's go listen to this brief clip from Tom Lee, and he is sharing his prediction on Bitcoin by the end of the year. If we achieve this, then get ready for MicroStrategy to have even another catalyst to push it forward.
It's going to be very difficult to fix the deficit with just changes in taxes and spending. But it's probably why Bitcoin is kind of interesting here because it's potentially a treasury reserve asset. And, if Bitcoin rises in price, it actually helps offset the liabilities, which is the deficit.
So you were at 150, I think, on Bitcoin, weren't you? But
yeah.
Not necessarily by the end of this year, or?
I think 6 figures is still possible before the end of the year, yeah.
And then more next year and the year after.
Yeah, I think because now, post-halving and now Bitcoin's becoming a lot more relevant, and I think maybe the regulatory overhang is diminishing, that there's a lot of upside from here, yeah.
Again, if you're interested in joining my community, I would love to have you. Remember, if you're with Trading with Ashley, there is no trader left behind. And if you want to see the video where I discuss MicroStrategy and the initial challenge, you want to watch that video right here.